Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Mantis, and guys, I am back with another video, guys. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down UFC 324 that took place last night live in Las Vegas, guys. This card was kind of weird, top to bottom. There was some weird fights, very good fights, but also some really strange fights. I will break down the whole card, guys, my instant reaction, guys. But first, please like and subscribe. It really helps me grow. I love to see you guys support my channel. It helps me stay motivated, guys. I appreciate you guys so much. But guys, please, let's just get right into it, guys. So first fight, Adam Fugitt versus Ty Miller. I think this is kind of expected. I picked Ty Miller to win by knockout in the first round. That's exactly what happened. Ty Miller is just simply better than Adam Fugitt at this point in their careers. And welcome to the UFC, Ty Miller. I mean, that is a very great win in the welterweight division to kind of say, hey, to the world, listen, hey, I'm kind of here. But guys, moving up the card, we do have Josh Hockett versus Denzel Freeman. Another fight that I kind of predicted that was pretty easy to see coming. I mean, Josh Hockett on the mic, yes, cringy, but I think that's his thing, right? I mean, I don't think he's trying to not be cringy. I think he knows what he's doing, and it gets people talking about him, right? It gets him out in the media, and he picks up a very good win against a very fat and out of shape Denzel Freeman. I mean, this fight was weird as fuck. I mean, I'm cursing. Fuck. Denzel Freeman sucks. Frankly, I honestly think if I was 225 pounds tomorrow, I think I could beat Denzel Freeman pretty easily in the same way. And Josh Hockett is actually pretty good. He's pretty technical, has power, and has some understanding of fighting at the heavyweight division. And he's like fairly athletic, right, for heavyweight. So if you have any sort of striking, any sort of grappling, and you have some athleticism, you can go very far in the heavyweight division, which we will see as we move up the card. But moving up the card, we do have Alex Perez versus Charles Johnson, and bro, Charles Johnson was not supposed to lose this fight. And it's crazy because I did know that this was Alex Perez's last fight on his contract. He said it in a couple interviews, maybe like a week or two ago, leading up to this fight. He said, this is my last fight on my contract, and I really have something to prove. And then he comes out and misses weight, right? So I'm thinking, I mean, this is a no-brainer. I mean, the dude misses weight. He's not taking this shit seriously. He's checked out of the UFC. And maybe Charles Johnson thought that too. Maybe Charles Johnson kind of underestimated Alex Perez. And Alex Perez isn't necessarily bad. And I said that in my prediction video. I said, Alex Perez isn't a guy that's bad. I just think Charles Johnson at this stage in their career, in both their careers, Charles Johnson is better. I guess not, bro. Charles Johnson can only beat prospects, I guess. Anyone with a little bit of history, a little bit of background, a little bit of experience is going to beat Charles Johnson. I mean, this is the guy that knocked out the champion in Joshua Van and Charles Johnson. And then he comes out and gets absolutely starched in round one. I mean, Alex Perez looked like a world beater in there against, and Charles Johnson didn't even look like he belonged in there. So I'm very surprised at this result. A huge win for Alex Perez. I don't know if he gets a contract again because he did miss weight, which is a little tricky because you got a really exciting knockout, but then you also miss weight on the last fight of your contract. So I'm not too sure how that's going to work, but he picks up a huge win. Charles Johnson definitely has to go back to the cutting board, or definitely has to go back to the drawing board and figure out what he needs to do to get better. Simply put, I mean, getting knocked out by Alex Perez in the first round is not good. It's not a good look. So he definitely needs to recoup, and we shall see him very soon. But moving up the card, we do have Nikita Krylov versus Modestas Bukauskas. Dude, I like this. Oh my God, bro, these fighters are so frustrating sometimes, dude. Like the UFC is such a frustrating sport to watch because what pisses me off the most sometimes is fight IQ. These fighters sometimes are so absolutely incredibly dumb. These guys are so brain dead and dumb. Modestas Bukauskas is throwing this labored 1-2, looping 1-2 overhand rights, putting 100% of his power into these shots, trying to knock out Nikita Krylov, who, again, has come off 2 brutal knockouts in a row. I get it. I get you're trying to take his head off. I'm trying to show the world, hey, listen, I'm here. I am a contender. I get it. You're trying to make a highlight. I get it. But set some shit up, man. Or change it up. Maybe grapple. Throw some uppercut. Throw some leg kicks. Maybe throw a different combination that the world doesn't see coming. And Nikita Krylov's always been an awkward fighter, so he's able to kind of take advantage of his awkward movement and give Modestas problems, especially on the outside foot, going backwards. But Modestas was just throwing the same shit over and over and over again with 100% power over and over again. And obviously it wasn't landing. I mean, it did land a few times, right? But if he just took off a little of his shots and landed down the middle, DC said in the commentary, just take a little bit off and throw it down the middle, he probably would have knocked him out. But he's so absolutely brain dead that he's doing the same things over and over again, and he got beat. Simply put, he got beat, and then he got knocked out. I'm blanking. I'm thinking about how he just got kind of destroyed the whole fight. He got knocked out, a buzzer beater knockout, absolutely destroyed. He points to the ground and then gets fucking destroyed by Nikita Krylov. It's absolutely laughable and joking, but that's just because honestly it might need to be cut from the UFC because that was disgusting. Moving up the card, because that fight actually just pissed me off, bro. I didn't lose money. I don't bet though, but like, bro, like that just pissed me off. Anyway, we have a table Gauthier versus Andre Pulayev. Where do I begin? I mean, he won, right? A table won. But did he win, right? I've seen some people saying, well, this is good. We've seen him tested, but, oh, this is bad. He's not as good as he thinks he is or as good as people thought he was. My initial reaction after the fight ended was, it was a good win. He was tested, but upon watching it back, I don't want to say he's not that good, but he's not that good. Andre Pulayev is not bad either, right? But he did get absolutely starched, damn near out cold, like 90% out cold in the first round by Table. And Table obviously was going very cautious, slow, and didn't finish him. And he could have, but he could have got a first round knockout pretty easily. And he's durable, he's young, he's tricky to really get out of there and really do damage to Table is. But I think he needs to work on that. I don't want to say that dogging him, but I think he needs to work on that true finishing potential when he does face a very tough fighter. In my opinion, he's starching these guys. He can end these fights, but he needs to find a way to control his emotions and find the finish when the finish is there, instead of trying to be methodical, right? He needs to stick to what he knows and go out there and finish his dudes when he gets the chance. But other than that, it was a good win. I mean, he looked good. He was eating a lot of body shots, though. I'm very curious to see a guy that's very durable, like a guy that throws very good kicks, like a Robert Whittaker if he ever faces him, who I said in my video, maybe he should call out a guy like Robert Whittaker if he wins. And if you're Robert Whittaker, do not take that fight. But a guy who throws very good head kicks, if he can read those head kicks that are low, that are coming up. And he kind of was against Pulev, who's not like the best kicker, right? Who has good kicks, but is not like an elite kickboxer like Robert Whittaker. I'm very curious to see how a Table will do against a guy like that. But nonetheless, he picks up a win. And again, he's not great. But again, he's still developing, and I'm very interested to see where his career goes and who they give him next. I mean, do they give him a ranked guy off of that? I don't think so. I think they give him one more. I don't know if they give him like a layup, but I think they give him one more just to really see how good he is and how much he's improving. But moving up the card, we do have a snooze. I mean, Umar Nurmagomedov versus Deiveson Figueiredo. And guys, I'm an Umar fan. I really am. I don't dislike Umar. I'm not one of those people that hates Dagestani fighters and grappling and all that. I'm not one of those guys that hates that style of fighting. I'm really not. But god damn, bro. Like, and it is on Deiveson. Like, it really is. Like, it is on Deiveson to kind of push the pace also and kind of, you know, engage, right? I'm totally understanding of that. But I just feel like Umar was fighting to secure a win, but not to dominate, if that makes sense. Like, I think on the feet, he could have dominated him. And yes, total strikes, it says, what does it say here? It says 103 to 28 in total strikes. I get it, but it really feels like he could have 10-8'd some rounds and just gone for submission. And I know Deiveson's hard to submit, but my point is I feel like Umar could have really proved the point here and dominated Deiveson Figueiredo, and he did just enough to win. I mean, he looked good, don't get me wrong, in the fight, but I think he did just enough to just secure a win and get back in the win column, versus Deiveson was also just surviving, and it was a snooze fest. Let's just call it what it is. It was a snooze fest. I mean, he wins pretty decisively, but not dominantly, and I feel like if you're Umar Nurmagomedov in this bantamweight division, you want to win convincingly. And even we'll get to the Sean O'Malley fight in a second, but I just feel like you need to go out there against an opponent who's on the tail end of his career and just absolutely destroy him. And I feel like he didn't have that mindset to do. But he did pick up a win. He does get his name in the title picture, I guess. And we'll see what the UFC does with him and guys like Sean O'Malley against Merab going forward. But moving up the card, we do have Arnold Allen versus Jean Lord Silva. And this was also a weird one. This whole card, like I'm saying, was weird. Like, they were good fights, but weird, strange fights. Like, I feel like a lot of strange shit was happening in the fights. Like, but anyway, Arnold Allen versus John Silva. John Silva picks up a win. I think Arnold Allen won the first round, in my opinion. I think. But John Silva started to pull away later into the fight. And then he jumped off of his back. Like I said, weird shit. John Silva's a weird dude. I don't know how high level he is. That's the problem. Arnold Allen is a tough guy to beat. Let's be honest. I mean, beating Arnold Allen is actually a really big deal. First of all, like, Arnold Allen is damn good. He's only really lost to Mozart, Max Holloway, and someone else I'm forgetting. He's lost to. but he's a really hard guy to beat, and John Silva did beat him, right? That is a good win under his belt, but I don't know how high level John Silva really is, because sometimes in the fights, he's like very hittable. You could take him down, but then he like flips a switch and then he throws some like crazy shit that's like very technical. He's a very strange fighter to gauge, and I think going forward he will be a top 5-6 guy, but I don't know if he will beat the Mo Surfers of the world, the Laurent Murphys of the world, right? I mean, even the Diego Lopez of the world, who he's lost already. So John Silva does pick up a very good win, but again, I don't know if he will ever touch the belt, right? I mean, he needs to make some drastic improvements, I feel like, in the striking defense for him to really touch the belt. Maybe even add some offensive grappling in there, which he has, but he doesn't really use. So John Silva does pick up a good one against a very tough Arlen Allen. Arlen Allen, he could have won the fight. Like, he really had a chance to win the fight, but I think he got too caught up in the moment against John Silva and was trying to put on an exciting fight versus just trying to win the fight. So, again, John Silva picks up a very good win, but we move up the card to a snooze. I mean, Natalia Silva versus Rose Namajunas. Guys, bro, like I said, I'm going to keep saying it. This was such a strange card, because this, if you have an understanding of striking, was kind of a high-level technical fight for strikers, right? But it was boring as fuck. And I'm not just going to say it was because of women fighting, but fuck, it was boring as shit. Like, Rose Namajunas' career, and I was saying this on my stream, like, you look at her fights and you see her as a fighter who has incredible wins, a 2-time flyweight champion, and you see her resume, the women that she's beat is absolutely incredible, and then you see the women she's lost, you're like, that's kind of weird. And then you look at her performances and you're like, how is this lady this good? Like, how does she have this wins? Because when you watch her fight, it's nothing super crazy, but then you watch her other fights, you're like, oh my god, this girl is like a world beater. Like, she's one of the best fighters ever. And Rose has these performances, and I know she's older now, and she's been around for a little bit now, but she has these performances where it's like, how was she ever that good, right? How was she ever that lady to knock out Zhang? Like, how was she ever that good? And this is one of those performances where she was doing damage, right? And do I think Natalia Silva won? Because I know there's a little controversy. Yes, I do think she won. But she was doing damage. She was landing her jab. She landed some takedowns. But I just feel like she could have did a little bit more. Sometimes, like, and I think Dean Thomas said it in commentary, she overthinks a little bit, right? She's thinking in there too much, and then she loses rounds that way. I think that happened in the third round specifically. And Natalia Silva does what Natalia Silva does. She's on the outside, feinting, throwing kicks, jabs, moving. And she was able to just outpoint Rose just a little bit to pick up a win. So I do think Natalia Silva won, but Rose had a chance there. And I think when Rose realizes that she's in a fist fight, she wins. Versus, oh, I'm a striker in a fist fight, she loses. When she starts thinking too much, instead of just going out there and flowing, that's where she has problems. So Natalia Silva does pick up a good win. And honestly, give her Valentina, but we all know Valentina is just going to hold Natalia Silva down probably for 5 rounds, which none of us really want to see. But I feel like it's kind of like an inevitable cutscene. We have to get out the way of Valentina holding down Natalia Silva and then retiring or something like that, or, you know, calling out Jean-Marie again or something like that, because I feel like now you kind of have to give Natalia to Valentina because she won, not convincingly, but because she won, and she's kind of an exciting prospect. But at the end of the day, Natalia Silva does pick up a win. Moving up the card, we do have Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Derek Lewis, and weird fight. Like, this whole card was so strange. Like, just such weird things were just happening. I mean, Cortez Acosta picks up a knockout win against Derek Lewis, but like, what happened? Derek Lewis quit. He threw the fight. I don't know. Derek Lewis has this thing where once he realizes that the other guy's actually athletic and actually not like a fat, unathletic heavyweight like him, he quits. He like will do that every 3 fights. Like, he'll win 1 and then lose 2, win 2 and then lose 2, win 1 and then lose. Like, it's very strange how he approaches fights nowadays, because sometimes like he looks like he actually gives a fuck. Sometimes he realizes, oh shit, this guy actually can like run a fucking sub 6-minute mile. Let me just quit and take my show money. And that's what it seemed like today. I mean, not today, but yesterday. And Cortez Acosta, I said he was going to be faster than him. And he was smart and he was disciplined and he did what he had to do to win. And I mean, he beat him. And then he like flicked out a jab and Derek Lewis fell to the ground. And then Cortez Acosta decided, okay, the fight's over now. Strange ending to the fight. I don't know. But Cortez Acosta picks up a win. His, 4th or 5th win in 6 fights, something crazy like that. He is absolutely on a roll. But I don't know if he beats a guy like a Volkov. I don't know if he beats Cyril Gane. I don't even know if he beats Curtis Blades. I mean, he might have a chance against Curtis Blades, but I mean, when you're an somewhat athletic heavyweight, you're going to be top 5. period. I mean, when you have an acapella like Derek Lewis, you can somehow make an incredible run to the title shot. But if you have some sort of athleticism as a heavyweight, you're going to be top 5 in modern UFC and modern MMA. So Carlos Acosta picks up a good knockout win against Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis retired? I don't know. But anyway, moving up the card, we do have Sugar. We have Sean O'Malley versus Song Yadong. Pause. This is a. I have a little bit to say about this one, y'all. So bear with me for this one. Sean wins. I thought he won pretty convincingly. Total fights, they have it at let me move this down. They have it at 69 for Song, 67 for O'Malley. I'm not gonna look. I'm watching it from a screen. I'm not there. I'm no judge. I mean, I'm a fighter myself, but it's like it seemed like Sean was outstriking him kind of the whole fight. I don't know the significant strikes. I mean, they have the significant strikes 48 to 36 for Sean. I feel like a little bit more than that, right? Sean looked good, especially in that third round. But I want to talk about the first 2 rounds. Song Yadong is such a tank that I think you kind of have to approach the first round like Sean did. The same way every time, a little bit cautious, right? Song Yadong is such a powerhouse in the tank that I think he hit Sean with something. Maybe it might have been like a right straight or something, or a jab, and Sean's like, all right, you know what? Let me take kind of a little bit of approach, and then let me just pepper him. And then once he was able to kind of hurt Song, and he was kind of he cut him open, I think his lip or his nose, or maybe both. He kind of was able to open up and flow, because Song Yadong is there to be hit, right? I mean, Song Yadong is a guy that doesn't really move his head that much. He's quick and explosive offensively, but defensively, he doesn't really have that same speed, right, when it comes to defending shots or parrying shots or evading shots, slipping, all that stuff. So he was starting to get cut open a little bit and started to get peppered, and I think Sean was able to really find his rhythm. But I want to talk about the performance itself, because I just discussed Umar's performance against Davis Figueroa and how it was incredibly lackluster. This performance for Sean was also a little bit lackluster. I think Sean in his head knew that he needed to have a good performance, and I think he's happy he won. But as a Sean O'Malley fan and as a UFC fan, I wanted to see Sean go out there and get a finish. I'm not saying put yourself in harm's way, which I know he didn't, right? I know he fought a Sean O'Malley fight, stay on the outside, he fought his fight. But I would like for him to have gotten the finish. And the third round, he did try, but I want to see that early, right? I want to see you go out there and throw a spinning wheel kick, a spinning heel kick. Throw that knee. I know he was setting it up, but try to throw that knee earlier in the fight, right? And try to get him out there early with the highlight reel KO to really solidify and cement yourself as the next guy to face Petr Yan. But that gets me into my next point, because I do think he fights Petr Yan anyway. Obviously has a win against Petr Yan and what was it, Abu Dhabi or something like that? I think it was in Abu Dhabi. He beat him, which is random as fuck that I'm bringing that up, but he does have a win against Petr Yan, and obviously he's lost to Rob twice. I'm not too sure the direction that the UFC wants to go on. I mean, we know the White House card is coming up, but I did hear that the UFC does not want any Russians on the White House card, so I don't know if Sean's gonna be fighting on that. I don't know, but I do know that Sean O'Malley, because he won and because he has a win with Petr Yan, is probably next in line to fight him instead of a guy like Umar, maybe instead of a guy like Marab. So nonetheless, Sean does pick up a win against Song Yadong. I saw Corey Sandhagen also call out Sean O'Malley. Corey Sandhagen is my favorite fucking fighter. I feel like the UFC world has been, and UFC fans have been begging to see Corey Sandhagen and Sean O'Malley fight. If they went that direction, I feel like Sean would say no, but I would love to really see it. But anyway, Sean picks up a huge win, so we move up to the main event of the evening. Woo! What an absolute war this was, boys. The first main event of the Paramount Plus era and the first main event of the year absolutely delivered. It was an absolute bar burner war, absolute violence, chaotic madness, everything that you want in the main event. Absolutely delivered. Justin Gaethje, I mean, first of all, before I get to Gaethje, Paddypimblett is an absolute dog. An absolute dog. The whole fight, I'm like really watching Paddypimblett get pieced up on the feet. Any other person gets knocked out within the fight. It gets knocked out. Paddy was wobbled. He was hurt for sure, but he was able to keep pushing forward because he doesn't get knocked out, and he is a tough mother effer. And Paddypimblett is an absolute dog. You got to give Paddypimblett his flowers, because the world has doubted him over and over and over again. And granted, I did pick Paddypimblett to win the fight, and he did lose the fight, right? And I was wrong. I was 100% wrong. But he's an absolute dog. I feel like he is still gaining fans, even though he lost the fight. But moving on to the winner, the new the first first ever 2-time interim champion of the world, which is a crazy thing to think about. Like, to be a 2-time interim champ but never actually hold the belt is crazy to really think about it, because it's like you've been close twice, and because he loses to Ilia. But Justin Gaethje, again, we know who Justin Gaethje is, an absolute dog. And the crazy part is, I guess my hot take here is that Justin Gaethje didn't really look that good in this fight. Like, he looked a little sloppy. He looked a little winded, like, early in the 3rd round. But because it's Justin Gaethje, he finds a way to still do damage and land shots against a very tough Paddy Pimblett. And he was landing shots that, again, put anyone else out. And Justin Gaethje was able to find those shots and continuously hurt Paddy Pimblett. And I'm just really so happy for Justin Gaethje. Like, in my heart, I wanted Gaethje to win, bro. Like, we all want Justin Gaethje to win, and I'm so happy that he was able to do that. But it's just sad because we know what's next for Justin Gaethje. We know he'll probably fight Ilia on the White House card, and that is going to be the best 57-second fight in the UFC history. Justin Gaethje versus Ilia Topuria, because someone's going down, and I think Gaethje honestly has a punch of chance. I feel like people just counting him off rip, like, oh, Ilia's gonna starch him, which probably will happen. Don't get me wrong, but I do think Gaethje in the pocket has that crisp boxing to land something that might surprise Ilia and put him down. So, again, Justin Gaethje is the new lightweight interim champion of the world for a 2nd time. Paddy Pimblett will definitely be back. As far as who Paddy Pimblett fights next, I'm really not too sure. I would like to see him maybe Fiziev, maybe. I don't know. Maybe he fights the loser of Charles Max. Maybe that makes more sense because the UFC really wants him to be a star. But Gaethje gets it done. He's gonna fight Ilia next, and I'm really nervous for that fight. But I'm also very excited because as a UFC fan, that's gonna be a crazy like first opening minute. Like, I feel like Ilia is just gonna point to the ground, and Gaethje's gonna be like fucking and point to the ground too, and they're gonna swing. So I'm really excited to see that. But guys, that is my breakdown, guys. I'm also gonna be breaking down UFC 325 probably tomorrow. It's been snowing crazy here on the East Coast, so I have really nothing to do. So, guys, I appreciate you guys' support. Please like and subscribe. It means so much to me. And I will see you guys very, very soon.